think 3 milliliters should be fine. Okay, now it's the chromatograph's turn. Yes. The water sample matches the one provided by the police. Well, the results are quite clear. I was hoping it would be a more interesting case. More diatoms. Analysis indicates the same origin. Blah, blah, blah. There's little left to do. I'm going to check the airway patency of the deceased. Interesting. Looks like there's something stuck in the trachea. I'm moving to the board for further inspection. I dissect the trachea and open the organ. Inside, I find a wedding ring. This is interesting. Based on the size, I can say that it's a woman's wedding ring, quite standard from the outside. There's an engraving inside. What the fuck? But this is my ring. Alice's ring. But how did it, but this should be at home. I have it. At home. I have to check this out. Where are my meds? Where the fuck are my meds? Huh? Jesus Christ! Hope these all make it go away. I have to check the apartment. It can't be. Jesus Christ! Mr. Ridley. Mr. Ridley!
What's all the ruckus?
I need to go home. Immediately.
What? Now?
I have to. Have you seen anyone here this morning? Anybody suspicious?
Oh, there was no one. Dorothy was, but only for a moment, then she left. What's wrong with you, Hammond?
Okay. Thanks.
What about the corpse?
I'll come back, I promise. Jesus Christ! I have to check this out. This can't be real. Where is it? Where is it? Where? It's not here. It's not. I need to go. This is sick. Fuck. Come on, Stephen. Pick up the fucking phone.
What's up, man?
They took the ring!
What? What ring? What are you talking about?
They took the wedding ring. Alice's wedding ring!
One sec. You mean burglary? You said nothing was missing.
Yes, I know that! I don't know. I was jittery. Maybe I didn't notice. I don't know, but that's not the worst of it.
Calm down, Jack. Breathe. What happened?
I found it in the trachea of the deceased I was working on. Do you understand? I pulled it out of a dead woman's trachea!
What?
I don't know what's going on. You think Red Pete wants revenge? He's playing with me. Huh? I knew it. I knew it from the beginning this was going to happen. I didn't make it up!
Jack, listen to me. Try to calm down. Don't leave the apartment. I'll be with you right away, okay? I'm on my way.
What sane person would do something like that? How? And when? When the fuck? Fucking Ridley lets in whoever he likes as usual. What are you saying? Steven? Don't leave me, man. Come on. Fuck. Oh, God, what now? Okay, just calm down. Just calm down. I need it. Jesus. What's going on? Just one sip more. Yep. Jesus. Just one sip more. Okay. All right. I can't do it anymore. These reports will kill me one day. I'll have to finish it over the weekend. It's time to go to work. I should take out the trash first. Jesus. Fuck. Maybe I'll just ignore it. Yes?
Hi, this is Charlotte. I guess I interrupted you again?
Oh, hi. No, I just... I wrote reports in those last sections, and I was just about to leave for work.
I always know when to call.
Yeah, definitely. What's up? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What about you?
Okay, nothing new. I had a few days off.
Oh, that's nice. Then... Did you have a moment to look for something for me?
Something for you?
Well, the photo with the photo I asked you for?
It hasn't come yet? Oh, sorry, but I said it a week ago.
No, not yet. Maybe I'm too impatient. I'm sorry for rushing you. You have so much on your mind, I thought maybe you forgot.
It's okay. No worries. With my pills, Pills. I almost forgot to take my pills. So you see...
Yeah.
I have to go now.
Yes, sure.
Let me know if you still haven't received the letter. Then I'll try... Well, maybe I'll find something else.
Oh, really? Could you? It would be great if you could.
Yes. I know it means a lot to you.
Well, I won't hold you any longer. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Damn. Did I mess up the address? How am I gonna get those pills? Maybe I should invite Charlotte to do something herself. Ugh. Why is it so wet? Ugh. I shouldn't be this tired.
Fucking hell!
I wonder if Alice's mother has a film of this photo somewhere. I actually hadn't thought about it before. I should call her on Friday. Oh, God. Why do I like sleeping so much? Huh? Good afternoon. I think I'll get straight to work on this one. Focusing on something will do me some good. Christ, this one's heavy. Hey, Mr. Ridley, I need help. I can't lift this bag myself. Ridley! Ugh, wasn't easy, but at least I can start. A new package must have arrived. I guess Dorothy ordered it. I think I'll skip recording a video for the students today. They don't need to see me and the body. Ugh. And they'll still have the accompanying photos anyway. November 27th, 1991, 5:14 p.m. Conducted by Dr. Jack Hanman. James Evans Jr., also known as Jesse. Age about 30, weight 130 kilograms, height 180 centimeters. Evans had previously been convicted of possession of stolen goods, robberies, and drug trafficking. There were also attempts to accuse him of leading a criminal group responsible for burglaries in the New Orleans area. What? Burglaries in the New Orleans area? This is... It's a rather strange coincidence. Police photos show that the body was not even particularly hidden, but only covered with a thin layer of soil, branches, and leaves. The body was found naked and mutilated. Clothes, probably belonging to the deceased, were found lying nearby. The body was found inadvertently in the woods near Peetsville. The dogs picked up the scent while searching for a missing boy. The deceased's father, James Evans Sr., is a local businessman. He was the one who reported the disappearance. At the time of the report, his son hadn't been home for 3 days. Sounds disturbing. I wonder what condition the body is in then. I'll start by opening the bag. Oh, fuck. I didn't expect this level of mutilation. This is going to be a dirty job. I'll check through the bag the police left. Maybe there will be something worth noting about the victim's clothes. Leather belt. You can plain cotton t-shirt. Classic jeans. Well, dirty and torn. Certainly not my style. Traces of blood and plasma. Is this... Interesting. Most of the blood is visible around the neckline. However, after decapitation, I would expect a larger stain, reaching much further, mainly traces of soil. It's a bit like the perpetrator's pulled his shirt over his head. The bloodstains don't appear to be related to any injuries on the body. A lighter, engraved with the police insignia, stolen, or maybe purchased. It looks somehow... it's probably a coincidence. Something's stuck here. It looks like some kind of ecdysis? Scale? This could point to an animal being responsible. And here, another animal souvenir. It looks different than the previous one. The only thing I can tell from the clothes is that before his death, Evans had either put up quite a fight, or the attackers simply dragged him along the ground for a long distance. Okay, I'll take a look at the scales. They seem too different. Dorothy once brought an animal encyclopedia here. She performed an autopsy on an exotic animal smuggler. The guy suffered an accident while transporting illegal animals. Not only were the police needed on site, but it took nearly a day to round up his cargo. Dorothy had a hard time with that case. Did the impact kill him, or did one of the animals he was transporting do him in? They even talked about it on the news. People were terrified that some reptile would just come out of the can and grab him. Okay, the book.
Who is this?
All right. Which page was it? Ugh. Local wildlife. I bet I'll find something here. Not this area. Nile. What kind is this? Oh, yes. This turtle turned out to be a killer. He ripped off the guy's wrist and tore him in a few other places. Aggressive beast. I only need to concentrate on the crocodile chapter. An interesting pattern. Very diverse. But that's not the one. No, that's not it. How it... doesn't seem to be fake. Very similar, but the color is slightly different. Not a match. Well, this scale makes more sense than the previous one. How did it end up here? So, either someone donned in crocodile products was around the deceased, or one of them attacked him. I'll examine the body and take photos. If an animal attacked him, there'll be traces. Ugh, Christ. Why am I so tired? Some coffee would be nice. What was I supposed to... the pictures. I'll have to show them to Dorothy. Too bad that we no longer keep our ranking. With something like that, I would come out on top. There's been a case like this for a long, long time. All right, I'll begin. The deceased's skin is smooth and taut. This suggests an advanced stage of decomposition of the corpse. It's unlikely that a human would make such a wound. Interesting. This needs to be investigated further. Nasty. Such a wound could not have occurred during the victim's lifetime. There are also clear traces of the deceased's ankles being bound in some way. Oh, and as expected, there's a bite. This wound appears to have been made by a sharp instrument. No head. That's not hard to miss. Evans couldn't have tied himself up like that. It looks like some sort of attack or kidnapping. I need to gather my thoughts together. And look at these photos. It seems that this case... I wonder whether the decapitate... I should inspect the work of animals can be seen here. The question is which ones. This looks very promising. The bite is clearly visible. It should be easy to compare it with the encyclopedia and identify the culprit. I just need to make it a little bigger. It'll be faster than physically measuring the bite. I hope I put it in right. I can never remember whether it was image up or image down. At university, I didn't have facilities like a fact... fantastic. Practically a one-to-one. Just some tracing paper, a pencil... pencil, and I can check these in the encyclopedia. Now, did I leave them in a drawer? Or maybe a box somewhere? Ugh. I don't remember if I left them out somewhere. Stephen didn't clean up after himself again. Oh, looks like I can tidy up after myself. Sometimes. A very, nature-driven case so far. I'll have to consult the encyclopedia again. Good thing Dorothy left it here. Otherwise, I would have had to run back to my place to get some. Makes sense. This would also explain the mold found in the clothes. It turns out that some of the wounds can be safely blamed on local alligators. However, we cannot blame them for the decapitation. It's not these animals we should be afraid of here. I should make some notes and start the autopsy. Ugh. And look for other traces. Several stab wounds of varying depth and circumference. It looks like the killer might have missed before they finally hit the neck. It doesn't look good. Evans wasn't decapitated with one cut. Looks like an uneven bite. It's worth taking a closer look at this. Maybe there will be some remaining teeth marks. The result of an animal tearing at its body. Eaten skin, soft tissues, and genitals. There are even some teeth marks, but... well, it doesn't look like an alligator. The bite is firmly incorporated into the wound. A photo alone won't help me here. I need to make a cast and compare it. Mississippi alligator. It's strange that an alligator would leave such a clear and smooth mark. Evan's right side must have been more attractive to the crocs and insects. Very strong binding marks. You can see peeled epidermis and small wounds. The imprints are quite deep and even. From the looks of it, I'd say Evans was restrained with his own belt. There's no end to playing zoologist today. I need a tool with dental impression cement. Can I find it here? No. It's probably lying somewhere around in the lab. I hope the cement hasn't expired. After the due date. That could be worse. Now I need to cover the bite area. Wait until it hardens. I think it's ready. The cast looks quite contaminated from the other wounds in that area. Well, let's hope the imprint turns out better. Brush, ink, and paper. Similar to taking fingerprints. Paint over the area. And put a piece of paper on it. That's very strange. I'll run it through the facts and check it on the computer. I really don't want to believe what I'm seeing. What? Wow. This is, well, this is quite unexpected. Human teeth. Oh, fuck. I need to tell this to Stephen. Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly. 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 Loading. It'll probably take a while. Loading. It'll probably take a while. Loading. It'll probably take a while. Finally. What? The partial impression I have may match several people. Okay, this one is in prison, so he's out. Another in prison. Oh, here's someone with quite interesting tendencies. Oh, he's dead. It doesn't fit. This one doesn't either. I'm afraid this will remain a mystery. Now I can't concentrate. Can't do it. I need to calm down first. I'm going back to the body. I need to make a note before I start the dissection. Maybe something chased them. Torn too. This wound turned out to be more troublesome than I thought it would be. You can see that the tool used was sharp and smooth. So, what if it was in the hands of an unskilled person? I need to verify how deep these wounds go. If they punctured the organs, hemorrhaging could have occurred. Alligators rarely kill humans. The perfect breeding ground for larvae. Fortunately, the deceased doesn't care about it, just like we do now. The abdominal and genital area are supplied with plenty of blood. If the penis was bitten off while he was alive, Evans could have bled to death. For obvious reasons, I record decapitation as the cause of death. Due to the body fat of the deceased, I'm adding a heart attack to the list. Maybe Evans didn't live long enough to experience what happened to him. Man. I was hoping for an easier case. Time for internal analysis. Finally. First of all, I'll try to determine what with the scalpel, I'll open the deceased's chest. I cut deep, in a straight line, avoiding the navel. We see a lot of fat tissue under the skin. When I remove the ribs, I expect to see even more. Correct. High levels of internal fat, organ size above average due to obesity. The deceased smoked cigarettes. But more importantly, you can see that the lungs have clearly suffered severe trauma. The lung... And this is the culprit. Well, it didn't look like the holes were that deep. Such hemorrhage could have been caused by hitting the chest with a blunt object, or a puncture directly affecting the organ. They appear to be of different depths. Open pneumothorax should be added to this. The deceased could have experienced extreme hypoxia, and, as a result, obstructive shock. I wonder what the heart looks like then. The organ is enlarged with very clear, but similarly to the lungs, there is a trace of puncture with a sharp object. In pneumothorax, the heart rate increases. In the event of such a wound, this would mean bleeding out faster and more. In turn, a sudden increase in the amount of fluid in the pericardial cavity could lead to cardiac tamponade, which is also a life-threatening condition. Evans, however, is remarkably clean, considering this turn of events. This all looks quite disturbed. The organ is fatty and enlarged. The beginnings of cirrhosis are obvious. Well, that's it. This time, nothing to write home about. So, I proceed to carefully remove the stomach. Like most other organs, it is fatty and clearly enlarged, not to mention swollen, partially due to gases, but mainly due to the deceased's lifestyle. I take the organ to the cutting board. If the outside is intact, I'm going to check the contents. It sounds like there's an unusually large amount of undigested, and now rotten stomach contents inside. Blood. Evans had to swallow it due to his injuries, which means he was still alive when he was brutally wounded in the chest. The trachea left to be examined. Surprisingly, it's not damaged by the decapitation. I move on to cutting it open. Okay, I carefully cut, and blood, just as I expected. Evans not only swallowed it, but also choked on it. Looks like I can wrap this up. Let me tie this together. After he was abducted, stripped, and tied up, he was dealt several penetrating blows to the chest. Then his head was cut off. Evans was deprived of his genitals, and the body served as an easy meal for the animals. Even though there are a lot of injuries on the body that could cause death, it was the decapitation that ended Evan's life. The animal bites in the limbs occurred after death, so there's no reason to treat these as the cause of death. The damage to the lungs and heart must have led to severe hemorrhaging, so there's no doubt that Evans was choking in bloody convulsions, but it didn't last too long, which I conclude from the small amount of blood in the stomach and trachea. I never thought I'd ever wish someone to have a heart attack. But in this case, it would have been better for him. In some way, it can be said with certainty that James Evans was murdered. Oh well. I need to stitch this poor guy back up. It's really bothering me. Something's not right here. Because even now, the organs are relatively clean. The skin around wounds also, it's like, someone pumped it out? Oh, Christ. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'll leave these questions for the police to solve. And now, I get to head home. It's a fucked up thing. I'll hold off taking long walks in the forest for the near future. I have a feeling that it won't end with just one body. Good night, Mr. Ridley. The body's ready to be picked up.
Sure. Good night.
I think it's the first time in a long time that I finished work at a decent hour. I'll get home and... Oh, come on. Fuck! When did I get a flat tire? What the fuck? Oh, come on. This is impossible. What's this supposed to mean? Why is this happening? Oh, someone is messing with me again. Oh. Fuck. I'm going to Ridley's. Maybe he saw something. Ridley, do you know what happened to my car?
Oh, what happened to your car?
All the tires are fucking flat!
Well, it happens. Don't you have a spare in the trunk?
Spare ones in the trunk. No one carries 4 fucking extra tires. In the trunk!
Jesus, Handman, calm down. I'll call you a taxi.
Calm down? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? Have you seen anyone around here? Someone strange? Suspicious?
Except you? No.
Haha, funny. I don't find all these jokes amusing, you know.
What jokes? Handman, what's wrong with you? It's just tires.
Such things are not a coincidence! What's wrong with me? Things keep happening. Last week, and now this?
Just go wait for the taxi, okay? Fresh air would do you good. Neither you nor I will do anything about it now.
Neither you nor I will do anything? What have you been doing all day? Surely something like this can't just be overlooked.
Maybe you should go outside and cool down. I'm calling a taxi.
Cool down. I just want to sleep. It would be easier just to move in and live here. I doubt I'll get reimbursed for the cab. Huh? Hello? Damn. It's already late. Good evening. Any news for me? About my car? You know, the flat tires?
No.
No, what? Have you checked the cameras? Anything?
Handman, I cut my teeth working in prison. I know what to do.
But
There were no strangers hanging around. Maybe you ran over something.
what? All the tires?
Why, possibly. You can congratulate yourself.
Christ.
You should try sleeping more. You've been kind of out of it lately.
That's the first bit of sense you've made all evening.
Good. The body is expected to be ready for pickup tonight, along with your lecture.
What? What? I didn't know what...
You still pontificating? Best hurry, don't you think?
Fuck me. I don't have the strength for this today. Have I taken my pills today? Did I take it? Or... I need to focus. Fuck. I don't have much time. Okay. One by one, Jack. Take it easy. Oh, a burning issue indeed. Then I'll move on to the body. Ah, shit. the lecture. I almost forgot. I'm gonna need the camcorder. This is making me nervous. Oh well. This is not the best framing. Hello, everyone. It's the 20-something of November 1991. Jack Hanlon is conducting the autopsy. Oh, yes, you already know the drill. So, the body is on the slab. Let's see what the police uncovered first. So, the victim is from yesterday's apartment block fire on Drowner Street. Personal details unknown. The exact cause of the fire has not yet been determined. However, it is known that the fire started in the deceased's apartment, where the most damage was reported. The body was not found until the next morning. The tenant was naked, charred, and with severe burns. The owner of the apartment asked about the deceased. He was surprised anyone even lived there. The deceased was sitting in an armchair near the TV. Pieces of pornographic material, an ashtray, melted video cassettes, and several bottles of so-called poppers were found in the vicinity. It's difficult to assess whether any escape attempts were made. Firefighters indicated that it was probably the large quantity of poppers found near the deceased and rapid spread of the fire. Well, that's our basic question. Whether the death occurred as a result of fire, or whether he was dead before it. As you can see, the body is in quite an unusual pose. For the purpose of photographic documentation, we'll leave it like that for now. This position is called the pugilistic attitude. This is due to the influence of high temperature on the muscles. The fire reaches the skin first, then the soft tissue, until the skeletal muscles are exposed. Coagulation occurs in exposed muscles due to their fibers shrinking. The extensors yield to the force of the flexors. The muscles contract and contract until the limbs become flexy and deformed. The upper ones are characterized by a triple bend, similar to a boxer holding his hands in front of him. Just 10 minutes will do it. 10 minutes for the muscles and tendons to contract, like a steak on the grill. In the end, we're all just walking meat. The deceased must now be straightened out, and we need to get rid of these bindings. He looks to have been tied up in a rather deceased's, which explains why, despite the severe burns, the deceased's limbs are not all that twisted. That's better. It's easier to straighten him now. Without taking out the magnifying glass, we already know that the deceased's skin is heavily charred and cracked. As for the other details, there are crow's feet visible near the eyes. Upper lip reveals front teeth. One of the incisors is broken. There's soot in the nostrils. The rope around the neck wasn't very tight. I don't see it leaving a mark on the skin. You can clearly see that this is primarily the front of the deceased that was exposed to fire. The victim sat in the chair the whole time, hence his back being in much better condition than this extremely burned area. The rope marks around the wrists are deep and clearly visible. Looks as if a large flap of skin had detached from the calf. The rope at the man's ankles was tied much tighter and more precisely than the one around his wrists. All in all, quite a lot can be deduced from this external examination. Traces fail to indicate the tissue of the mouth. The eye soot in the nose appears when inhaling harmful and choking smoke. Severe burns, the length of predominance appears to be loosely tied. However, this is the result of the corpse drying out. The wound shows that the rope had deeply imprinted itself in the tissue. The burns reach through the dermis and hypodermis. It looks like the deceased was a fan of choking while masturbating. Deaths due to a predilection for asphyxophilia do occur, but not in this case. We need to check the damage inhaling all that smoke has done to the respiratory tract. The extent of the thermal stresses on the body could have caused this death. The mixture of fear, sexual arousal, and drugs could have caused a heart attack. Burns to the genitals and groin are an additional concussive factor. This is due to the high vascularity and innervation of this area. Wounds on the wrists and ankles indicate that the deceased could have been struggling in panic. In this case, I don't assume that this was a delayed death. I will assess the extent of possible poisoning and burning in a moment. First, I'll try to establish the victim's identity. Due to the amount of charring, we are unable to collect the victim's fingerprints. Visual identification is also out of the question. You can probably guess what options we are left with. You guessed it. A dental impression. For this, I need impression trays and alkanate material. Please excuse me for a moment. What I need should be somewhere in the lab. Okay, it's going well. I should be able to get this done in time. Where are these trays? Towels, papers, jars? Nope, it's not anywhere on the counter. Maybe in this drawer. Oh, I'll warm this up in my hands. Okay, making an impression is quite simple. You put trays with alginate into the mouth and press them together in one firm movement. Once the devices have been placed... apologies. They cannot be adjusted. Okay, again, we will need a piece of paper, a brush, and ink. We will make a plaster model of the deceased's teeth from the obtained impression. We will then make an impression of the mold on a piece of paper, which will be scanned into the computer. You see, it seems so simple, and yet laborious. On the plus side, we don't have to worry about the gag reflex with the deceased, and no need to remind the subject to breathe either. At least he saved the high cost of orthodontic treatment.